Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla, and y'all know I say so often, Tesla does what Tesla does. Yesterday we had a high of 332.88, or pre-market there was a high of here 332.88. Yes. And we come all the way down to this low here, only to bounce from a level that we have marked. Tried to go sideways a long time yesterday. Back to the downside we went, 324 low here, back to the sideways movement, and Tesla is an inside day candle. So is it setting us up for something interesting? So let's give the trigger first for the inside day candles. And normally if it breaks beyond this level, then we have a downside target, and if we should break above this level, we have an upside target. That's how I look at inside day candles. Helps build our watch list and gives us possible targets, right? So if by chance we break this 326.42, which we've been resting here for a while, we could very well come back down to the 313 level. And let's see, yes, this level here of 313 and back to the upside if by chance we break above this level here of 332.05. We have an upside target today for Tesla at 332.99. So Tesla is an inside day candle. Now let's look at those levels just to see where we are. We traded sideways. We have been trading sideways again. Where are the trouble places that we need to get back above 327.32? And if we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble again, 328.35. As you can see, that's been kind of like the resistance here, which the support here. Now our resistance back to the upside, breaking at 328.35. We could possibly have trouble again, 329.15. Again here at 329.42. Should we break that, 330.38, breaking that brings us back to 330.91, 331.39, and if we should break that level, 332.05, breaking that brings us back to 332.58, and should we break that, we could very well reach the target here of 332.99. Now let's look to the downside. Should we break this level here we've been holding at right here at 326.42, we could very well come back to 325.66, and there's a few layers of support under that. Should we break that, 325.36, again 325.10, breaking that brings us back to around the 324.52, not far from the 200 EMA at the 324.26 as of now. However, should we break that, we could very well come back to 323.74, breaking at 322.84. And should we break that, 322.25. Now I'm going to continue to the downside because we have a decline. Let me see, 322.25. If we break that area, which is around here, we could very well come back to 321.75, 321.21, and again 320.30. Breaking that brings us back to 318.85. So if you are trading Tesla today, keep in mind it is an inside day candle. It has been trading sideways or consolidating, or creating a gathering spot, whichever word you choose to use, right? So trade carefully today. I say that so often, y'all. So let's look at the SPY today just to see where we are. And again, y'all, I do apologize that my SPY and my Tesla charts are very congested, but I've been charting them for a few years, and when I'm in the trade I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are, so I like to chart. So we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 602.68. It has been trading in this zone here, kind of like Tesla, in this little gathering spot. So is it setting us up for something big? That's what I have to wait. When we're trading like this, it's kind of setting us up for something. Now, we can use support at this level here of 598.98, resistance around this level here of $600.47. So that will be the zone that we're kind of trading in as of now. Should we break this $600.47, we could possibly have trouble again, $600.98. resistance. And again here, 601.40, if we should break that, 601.77, 602.07, if we break that somewhere around 602.39, breaking that level, 602.49, and if we should break that, y'all see the ATR trailing stop, which is here at the 602.96 area. Breaking that brings us back to around the 602.86. If we should break that 602.86 area, boy, let's see, 602.98, and breaking that 603.28. So there's a lot of resistance for the SPY here in that 602.66 to 602.98 could very well stop us out. Now breaking that can get us back to the 603.28 and breaking that 603.57. Now back to the downside. Let's look at downside. If by chance, y'all, and I do that so often. Now if by chance, you know, we break under this level, let's say here around the 599.52, we could very well find support 599.26, 598.98, which is here, that's been holding us up. Breaking that brings us back to 598.23, and as you can see, y'all, there's a few layers of support for the SPY all the way down in this area here. So let's say we break the 598.13, we get 598.04, and again here at 598.97, breaking that level brings us back to around 597.69, and if we should break that, we could very well come back to 597.36. That's where we are. 597.25 is the next level, and should we break that, we could something stopped us at this candle here. So I need to remember that 596.93, something stopped us there. So I kind of need to mark that level. Why? Because there's a strong possibility that I can come back, or we can come back to this area here and price stop us out again. I always say what stopped that candle. As you can see, something stopped it on this line here. I've already had that grayed out because we've stopped there before. I wanted to point that out. 596.94, breaking that brings us back to around 596.71, and breaking the 596.71 area, 596.45, and again 595.97. So if you are trading the SPY today, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, y'all, not financial advice, and I say it often, I look at the market in a different way. My support and resistance I look at on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where I could possibly get stopped out or have trouble. Now we're looking at NVDA. We closed at 144.69. We've been trading in this gathering spot here, only to break out to another gathering spot that we have marked support as of now, 144.65. Resistance at around this level here of 145.02. Now should we break that, we could possibly have trouble 145.19, breaking that level, 145.39. Should we break that, 145.46, that is our ATR trailing stop. In my opinion, NVIDIA could very well have strong resistance in this area. Now should we break that, we could very well come back to 145.80. Breaking the 145.80, we could possibly have trouble 145.97, and that's somewhere around where the body of these candles here are. Price stock, we had some issues here, so I need to remember that 145.96, 145.97 area. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble 146.27, and again here 146.49. That could be a rejection area. Should we break that, 146.89 could be a trouble place for NVIDIA today. Now if we break that 146, let's say 146.39, we could possibly have trouble again 147.34. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, those are possible areas to the upside. Again, not financial advice, y'all. Now to the downside, under 144.65, we could possibly have trouble somewhere around the 144.17. If we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble again 143.32, and breaking that brings us back to around 142.90. Should we break that level, 142.42 could be a rejection area for us, and breaking that brings us back to 142.08. Breaking that level brings us back to around 141.64, and if we should break that, 141.42 here at 141.17, not far away, 140.52, and again here at 140.66. 140.66. So if you are trading NVIDIA today, those are possible areas to the upside and to the downside. Again, y'all, not financial advice. Let's go look at AMD today. just to see where we are. It looks as if we closed at 126.39. See, AMD was setting us up for something, and as you can see, we're trying to break out of that area. So I always say trade carefully, try to identify your gathering spots, and wait on that move, right? So where the trouble places for AMD right now, resistance at around 129.24. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again, 129.72. Again here at 130.64, 131.14, 131.85, breaking at 131.85 area, which is around here. We could possibly have trouble 132.60, and if we should break that 132.97, those are rejection areas for AMD, or possible rejection areas. Now breaking the 132.97, we could possibly get rejected again, 134.15, and if we break that 135.54, could be a rejection area for us. Now back to the downside, let's say we break under 128.01, we can come back to 127.37, again here at 126.67. breaking that brings us back to 125.69. breaking that level brings us back to around the 124.94, and if we break that 124.47, now breaking this 124.47, we could very well come back to 123.78, 123.20, and as you can see, there's a few layers of support here in this area here. So let's see. Let me go back to where okay, so the 123.20 was here, breaking that 122.90, 122.64, 122.34, and then down here, let's say around the 121.73, breaking that. Y'all see the 200 EMA is right there at a level that we have marked at 121.46. I like to see that. So if you are trading AMD today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, y'all, I say it often, not financial advice. Why? Because in this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So let's look at Meta today just to see where we are. We closed at 702.12, and as you can see, it too has been trading sideways. It looks like it's trying to set us up for something, right? So back to the upside, we could possibly have trouble 702.47, 703.51, 705.50, and breaking that 706.48. Now should we break that, I have a big gap between the 706 to 711 area, 711.27. we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between that. Y'all know I say anything is possible, right? Should we, so Meta is really at an interesting place to know, is it going to continue to the upside, or is it going to break back to the downside? Now support places as of now, $700.99, $699.51, $698.27, breaking that level, $696.11. should we break that $695.25 and breaking that $694.21, breaking that level brings us back to $692.34, and under that $690.80. should we break that level, $688.15, and should we break that, we could very well come back to around $685.28. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. We do have a few inside day candles, and y'all know I like to just give the trigger to those, meaning if it should break to the upside, this is our possible target. And FTNT is an inside day candle breaking above the level of 103.24. we have an upside target of 103.36. now to the downside, if by chance we break under 101.08, downside target $100.29. FTNT is an inside day candle. Mara is also an inside day candle today. Interesting, right? Normally, yeah, Mara. So if by chance we break above this level here of $15.54, upside target for Mara $15.72. Now to the downside, under 15.05, downside target 14.56, and as you can see, it too has been trading in this downside movement. It tried to break under the trigger to the downside, only to come down here and find support at a level we have marked 14.90. So if you're trading Mara today, it is an inside day candle. I say trade carefully. Oracle, ORCL, is also an inside day candle. Let's say above this level, 215.28, upside target 216.73. now to the downside, under 209.98, downside target for Oracle or ORCL 201.12. So if that is something that you trade today, I say so often, y'all, trade carefully. Mark your levels, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day, right? So this is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day. Again, if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.